Boss, need to make you aware of something. Another team has made an approach for one of the drivers we're talking to. It's... They've agreed a contract. It's all locked. Hopefully you weren't too set on them. I'm sorry it's not better news, but there are other options out there.
It's a United States love affair with Formula One at the moment, so what a thrill for everyone today to see our drivers lapping COTA at full hot lap speed. It's the Circuit of the Americas, and it's qualifying. Over the rest of the weekend, so we'll see you all tomorrow. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend, so we'll see you all tomorrow. And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend, so we'll see you all tomorrow. Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Senna, Mika Hakkinen, and Russell. Leclerc, Norris, Doohan, and Carlos Sainz. Stroll, Tsunoda, Alex Albon, and Behrman. Jackson, Hülkenberg, Liam Lawson, and Zach O'Sullivan. Gasly, Hadjar, Bortoleto, and Paul Aaron rounds off the grid.
moment, just be careful. Yes, and that's a podium. Excellent drive. The whole team have worked especially hard this weekend, and that, my friend, is a fantastic reward. Well done.
Oh man, that was close. Wow, what a race.
Next up, we'll set the grid for the Grand Prix. So we'll see you next time. Here we are then in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, the fabulous Austin in the great state of Texas. The circuit itself, 14 miles southeast of the city centre, has been home to the US Grand Prix since 2012, the latest in a long list of iconic tracks to have that honour. We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, where 20 corners and speeds of up to 200 miles per hour await us on this magnificent racetrack. It's 60% full throttle with plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the two DRS zones into turn 1 and the long back straight into turn 12. What a race we have in store today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Senna, Piastri, Mika Hakkinen, and Norris, Albon, Russell, Jackson, and Yuki Tsunoda, Sainz, Behrman, Jack Doohan, and Gasly, Stroll, O'Sullivan, Nico Hülkenberg, and Gabriel Bortoleto, Aaron, Lawson, Hadja, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me for this afternoon's commentary, Naomi Schiff. Good afternoon, Gnomes. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating.
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
now use DRS. DRS now available. Okay, you're in the top 10. Great manoeuvre, you made it look so easy. Copy. We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. Okay, clear on the exit to rejoin, clear exit. Okay, let's go now, come on. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Yes, mate, I'll take that. Well done. We're really happy with the podium down here, so well done. Yes.
Oh, man. That was close. Wow, what a race.
Charles Leclerc, what a drive, what a victory. He wins.
Well, that's 2 wins in a row for them now. That's really going to help them gain confidence and start to build that momentum that they're really going to be looking for.
It's what they've all been racing towards, waiting for them. High above the pit lane is our podium. And for the lucky 3, it's time to stand on it. And who gets to take the top step of the podium? Yes, it is I, Leclerc, Charles Leclerc on top. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.